Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back talking Chicago Bears football, and we are talking about the second preseason game. Now, my uncle Daryl couldn't join for the video because he ended up having to be called in to work. I asked him if he wanted me to delay the recap, and he said no. He said I can go solo, so here I am, and we're gonna talk Chicago Bears football in terms of the Bears and them getting their win today. Well, who cares about the wins? Obviously, we're here to talk about how the team looks, and offensively for the starting unit, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. But you can say Caleb Williams, he had, even though he didn't start great, he did end really good, and we just saw what Caleb Williams can bring to the Bears in terms of the impressive stuff he can do. And again, we just have to hope as Bear fans, like, okay, it's obviously, people over social media, Baylor Bear fans over social media talking about, we actually may have a quarterback. We actually have a quarterback now and stuff like that. Again, this is just my PTSD as a Bears fan. I'm not going to guarantee anything until I actually see consistent play from that position. But again, like I said it before. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. It was impressive to see what he did today, in a live game setting in a Bears uniform, and hopefully it continues to get consistently better, especially in the regular season. But again, if this doesn't, this completely just tells me and shows me like I'm absolutely excited to see what he can bring in a live game setting in terms of the regular season stuff. And you just see some of the stuff that he did, especially on the last few drives he had, is what essentially got him drafted by the Bears and everything. The improv, um, just the keeping plays ability, the magician like ability, and things like that. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the Justin Fields type of stuff in terms of the comparison and things like that. I'm going to leave that to what you Bear fans want to do, but obviously, you know, again, like I said, I was somebody that was for Justin. I was thinking Justin Fields should come back, but again, I'm impressed, and I moved on from the fact. Obviously, you're gonna have your Bear fans take the shots at the last guy, talking about how he would just tuck and run instead of just tuck and keep his eye, instead of just roll around and keep his eyes down the field. Again, it is what it is because at that point in time, Bear fans had no issues with that, and then all of a sudden, now they do, and things like that. But I'll just say, like the way he did, the way he kept the play alive and everything, it was that of what Justin did last year and even previous years. And then the only difference, like people said, um, Justin would usually just tuck and run, while Caleb, in this case, outside of that touchdown run, he would elect to try to stay and pass. So you do have to like the fact that even though he is escaping the pocket and he is maneuvering around and he's doing his magician-like things, he's still able to look downfield and hopefully try to find an open receiver. And if not, again, he can take it and run because he's an athletic quarterback as well. So I wasn't early impressed. The first few drives, I thought the first few drives, I thought he honestly rushed some passes. There was some overthrows in that first drive. There was a pass behind him. I felt like he was trying to get into a rhythm, but he was rushing the internal clock to get the ball out faster. I felt like maybe, again, I didn't see anything in the tape in terms of the first few drives or anything. And I really don't want to pay money to get the tape. Again, I'm just giving you my actual thoughts in terms of live thinking. So I don't know if there was open receivers downfield that he missed, but I honestly felt like he was speeding up a little bit too fast. He was getting the ball out a little bit too fast. Again, I'm fond of him getting the ball out fast, but you don't want to get it out too fast to where, guess what? Your receivers are just getting out into their breaks and everything into their routes. And I felt like he was rushing some things, obviously, to get the ball out fast. Again, simple stuff as a rookie, he'll start to learn and he'll start to get on track with these receivers because obviously, in one thing in terms of practice, it's building chemistry with your receivers, but it's another thing in a live game setting against actual competition going 100% of the time. Um, you know, the competition and the pace that you need to get the ball out fast enough. But I thought the first few drives, he was rushing his throws. Some of it also has to do with a little bit of sketchy play calling, but I'm not going to look into it. I know Bear fans were already blowing up about the play calling and stuff like that. I'm like, guys, it's just preseason. If anything, maybe it's just basic Shane Waldron play calling. Now it was a little bit concerning the fact that, he was somewhat struggling against backups. But I'll talk about it in a bit. But the one thing I do appreciate, and the one thing I think Ryan Poles came on the broadcast later, because even though the game was on NFL Network, it was from the Chicago Bears perspective. The one thing that Ryan Poles made a mention in the broadcast is he actually did appreciate the fact that the coaching staff basically made Caleb Williams play a whole half, essentially. I was like taking my shower and everything while the game was on in the background, and then before I ended up like going actually jumping into the shower, I saw he actually came out for another drive, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And this was like, I forgot it was like it was some point in the second quarter, and I was like, "Oh, he's still out there." And then when they went on offense again, um, I'm like, "Oh, wow, they're actually probably going to play him a full half." Now, I don't know if that means they're not going to give him any reps against Kansas City. I hope they give him reps against Kansas City in Kansas City, because he needs all the live in-game reps he can get before we play the Titans in week 1. And plus, after next week, there's going to be a lull in terms of practices. There's going to be a lull in terms of live game reps, and it's just going to be practicing. And, I believe I want him to get the game reps to come in and be able to continue to adjust and get better, work on things that maybe he's trying out, or work on things and, have this offense hopefully playing really well. So then by week 1, we're not coming out in a slump, because that's still a long time before the week 1 game, after the Kansas City Chiefs game. So hopefully he plays in the Kansas City Chiefs game. I don't want Eberflus to do like, oh, we're gonna sit him. No, play him though that preseason game too, and I would say play him another full half. It's just the only thing is basically Keenan Allen and DJ Moore didn't play the remaining part of the half. It was the other receivers, and then the offensive line also played a full half, and we didn't suffer any injuries. So again, like I said, the number one offense, again, they need to go out there, play another half of football, build some consistency going into the first week of football. But legitimately, Caleb Williams didn't get started till really the reverse pass, or the reverse handoff to Roma Dunze. We'll talk about in a bit. Um, and then he threw a very deep pass to Tyler Scott, who ended up drawing a flag, a holding flag, because the defender pulled him back a bit. I do think, again, it all maybe more had to do with the penalty, but to me, it felt like Tyler Scott was somewhat slowing down, and if he just kept going and he just kept running, he would have caught the ball and he would have been a walk-in and a touchdown, and then there would have been a walk-in touchdown, and then there would have been no need for that penalty. Personally, that's just me, because I still remember that time last year where Justin Fields gave Tyler Scott a perfect ball and he slowed down and it made the defender catch up to him and he dropped the pass. I just made me feel like he did the same exact thing where he slowed down to try to catch the ball, but then obviously the defender grabbed him. But it's to what's your thoughts? I know they say Tyler Scott's a deep threat, but honestly, I have no confidence when it comes to throwing Tyler Scott the deep ball in a live game setting. So we'll see. We'll see. He did play really, but Caleb Williams, he had that got them going a bit, and then that next drive was when you saw the Caleb Magic stuff happen, where he evaded the pocket and then he threw basically on the run. Now, like before it, like he wasn't set and he kind of overthrew his receiver. But the next play, he kind of did something similar to that, but then he threw it up the sideline to Roma Dunze, who made a great catch. It was a great throw and a great catch. And then the next play or whatever, he just like a roller. He kind of jukes out the defender that looked like was going to sack him or whatever. And then if not for Rome not realizing he was out of bounds again, they didn't paint the end zone exterior white, so it's just grass. They had the lines there, but it's just grass. Roma Dunze, regardless, he has to have better awareness on that, and then that would have been a touchdown. But again, Caleb Williams does the whole magic play. Again, things that we've seen in the past that Justin did. So there's really no difference. Only difference is Caleb's more willing to run around in the pocket and run around to evade pressure and try to throw the ball. Justin, on the other hand, he would just run around and probably try to find a running lane to run, even though he would try to look downfield and pass the ball. But Caleb Williams ended up running one in for a touchdown. That ended the day. Again, like I thought, his start wasn't great, but he ended off the day good. He was 6 of 13, except for 75 yards and one rushing touchdown. He did take one sack. Um, he actually said in his press conference that sack's on him. It's not nothing to do with the offensive line. I will say it probably was a little bit on him. He could have maybe at least thrown the ball away, at least to the nearest receiver out of bounds. So then he didn't take that unnecessary sack because I think that was no, I believe that sack was one of the sacks after that deep, PI penalty. So that's the thing right then and there. Um, so yeah, Tyson Bagent, he did come in. I thought he played a lot better. I thought this was his best game he played, compared to the Hall of Fame game and the Buffalo game last week. So that's kind of the thing. I thought he played well. He made some really nice passes, especially Dante Pettis, for 2 touchdowns. So that was great. Brett Rippin got some burn in this game. I didn't really catch the end of the game because at that point I went out to go get me something to eat, but I guess he played fine as well. We didn't see Austin Reed in this game. I don't know if his parents were in attendance. I guess we'll find out on Hard Knocks. It sucks for him because he never got a legitimate opportunity. So hopefully, maybe in the last preseason game, he'll probably be a practice squad quarterback, unless the Bears just cut him outright. So he'll probably get some burn in that Kansas City game. So that's the thing. But going back to the backup, Tyson Bagent, this performance basically kind of negated what I said about him last week. And he basically just showing you, okay, he's going to be the backup quarterback. And again, he shows you why the Bears do like him as the backup quarterback. So that's the thing, right then and there. Um, I thought the running game wasn't necessarily good this week. Yeah, we had the reverse. Khalil Herbert, I didn't think he only had that one big run, but other than that, he didn't do much of anything. I don't know where Roshan. I think I saw on Twitter. I think Roshan Johnson is injured. And then they didn't give DeAndre Swift any run this game. I don't know why, but all right, that's fine by me, I guess. But Khalil Herbert, I felt like I don't know. I felt like outside of that big run, he didn't really have a good game. And again, he's probably like one of those trade potential candidates. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. So we'll see. Velus Jones, I thought he was fine for the most part as running back, but the rushing team didn't really do much of anything today. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. Again, receiver wise, Keenan Allen is still looking for his first reception as a Bear. DJ Moore didn't really get anything going today. He had a chance to catch a slant, but I guess the defender got the ball in and everything. Roma Dunze had one catch. He would have had 2 catches and a touchdown, but Dante Pettis had three receptions for 53 yards and 2 TDs. He definitely needed that because, he needs to establish a roster spot on the team in terms of being a wide receiver. So we'll see. We will see. Um, so that's the thing right then and there. The Bears, in terms of team stats wise, um, I thought they were fine for the most part. Um, we actually did end up forcing 3 turnovers. And I'll get into the defense in a second. The defense was actually really damn good in this game, again, showing, the fact that, okay, I might have to keep my mouth shut about this defense, and hopefully this defense shows up. compared to not showing up all the time. But the defense was really good in this game. And Kyler Gordon, I think, was probably the standout player on defense today. And I also thought Jonathan Owens was actually another standout defensive player in terms of just making tackles. Like there was times where it's like the player has wide open room and Jonathan Owens tackled them in green, like right then and there, and just got him down to the ground. A very efficient tackler. I really liked what I saw out of him in this game in terms of tackling. Because when you look at Eddie Jackson was always whiffing on tackles or you'd be missing tackles. But it's nice to finally have, oh, I wouldn't say finally, but it's nice to have a safety who isn't a starting safety, but he's a nice solid backup caliber safety that you could put in and he can make nice effective tackles and he's willing to get physical and down and dirty. So you like that. I will have to say he might need to tell his wife, hey, take off that jacket. I don't play for Green Bay no more, and we in Chicago. Because if you don't, I don't know if you've seen the Bears post, but Simone Biles was in the stadium today for today's game. And she was wearing a jacket which had her husband, obviously, because she's supporting her husband. But it had the Green Bay logo on it and everything. And I'm like, and then plus it had like him in a Green Bay jersey. I'm like, oh, okay, I understand. If you just want to wear your guy, your man, your man's jacket and it has like him on it, that's fine. But if I got that Green Bay Packer logo on here, take that shit off, and you're gonna go put that in the trash. I'm sorry. Somebody needs to have that same design jacket. Just switch the jerseys, make it a Bears looking like jersey, and then a C on it. I don't want to see green. I don't know why she wore that to the game outside of supporting the husband and because the husband's on the jacket. But listen, she needs to get an upgraded jacket. She needs to get a new jacket because holy hell, man. We cannot be having her wearing Green Bay shit. Even though it has her husband on it in Chicago. That can't happen. That can't happen. So that's the thing right then and there. The defense was great. Again, the defense was great. Montez Sweat got some pressures, and everything. I thought the zone defense, to an extent, tightened up a little bit. We definitely did blitz a lot more and play more man coverage, which I am 100% for. I want the Bears to blitz more, and be more of a man coverage team than a damn zone coverage team because I don't like Eberflus's zone coverages because I think his zone coverages are frankly, in my opinion, too damn soft. So bring the heat, bring the blitz. I want more of that. Get physical, get greedy, or not greedy, gritty with these dudes. If you get beat over the top in man coverage, fine, whatever. I just don't like it when I'm seeing guys get beat over the top in zone coverage, or there's a section of the zone that is wide open and receivers just standing there, and I'm watching a damn Bears player on defense just stand there knowing damn well, okay, the quarterback's going here. Instead of just closing in on that play, they just stand there with their feet stuck to glue. And I'll actually, speaking of, the turf, I'll talk about that in a second. Um, and their zone gets beaten. So that's the thing. Um, Turnovers again. You'll take their turnover. We had a deflection for an interception. You'll take. We had one fumble lost. Threw another interception essentially. Bengals quarterback threw another interception. So that was good. Again, like I said last week, I'll say it again. This defense has to first force turnovers and especially with a rookie quarterback, you want to make sure you don't have him backed up against his own end zone, which there was times Caleb Williams was backed up against his own end zone. You don't want that. You want to give him every possible chance to not only get extra possessions, but shorten the distance to score a touchdown and bail out the offense essentially. So it's nice to see that for the second straight week in a row, we forced a turnover. This time it's more turnovers, so we forced 3. Let's see if we can go for 4 next week against the Chiefs. That might be pretty hard, but regardless, forcing turnovers is a big deal and everything. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. Torrey Taylor, he did punt. There was one great punt he had. It just shows you the weapon we have at punter. Even the backup punter punted a really damn good punt near the end of the game. So, again, Torrey Taylor, if he keeps it up, man, just keep punting deep. There was times where I thought he did punt short, but it's like Ninja Kid, just boom it, boom it. So that's the thing. Kyler Gordon, again, like I said, going back to the defense, he stood out today. Man, I think the one play that stood out to him was when he freaking just they ran him on a corner blitz and he just freaking hit the hell out of the Bengals backup quarterback. I was like, holy hell, he just killed a man. I don't mean to slander my guy Justin Fields, but shit, that reminded me back to when Justin Fields rookie season and we played the Bills and Justin Fields got his head taken off. You know, essentially the quarterback, I think his name was Weatherspoon or whatever. Woodside, my bad. He just was not, he didn't have any awareness and he got killed by Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon played really well. He was coming up, making tackles, defending passes. I enjoyed what I saw out of Kyler Gordon, and if that's just what we're gonna get out of him in the regular season, I am ready. I am ready for more Kyler Gordon, more Kyler man stuff. Again, I already mentioned Jonathan Owens. Trying to think who else stood out on defense. No, not real. Oh, Blackwell. Blackwell, I thought he had a good week as well, a good game. He also had another. They also brought him on the same corner safety blitz or whatever, lit that quarterback up too, which led to the interception. But again, another solid game played by the Bears. Run defense stuffing. Pass defense is still a work in progress, but I liked it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Um, so we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. Um, yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about. The turf was terrible, I guess today. It didn't look as bad when they were playing, but early game, you could see, I guess, people were saying you could actually see like the patches that they resodded back, to on the field again. This just shows me this is why the Bears immediately need to get their damn new stadium, because the fact that the city of Chicago is not taking care of that turf and just be like, you know what, we need to hold a concert elsewhere. We need to do this. It's all I know, and I know the Chicago Fire, they play in Soldier Field. That's fine. I understand, but like legitimately, like concerts at Soldier Field or anything else need to stop happening there. Like, go put that in the fucking United Center for crying out loud. You know, go put these concerts in the United Center. Why they have got to be at Soldier Field? Because, especially with the Bears season coming around, and the fact that the city wants the Bears to stay in the city of Chicago so damn much, um, at least do a better job in making sure there's no other events happening outside maybe your sports teams that occupy the stadium to that essentially are the reason as to why the turf could potentially get messed up before a game. Because I know pregame they had Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham out there. And I think that was another reason why, which I also forgot to mention, maybe the reason why the offense struggled a bit was because they didn't want to go all out because the turf wasn't the best. And then too, also the fact that the first team offense basically had a joint practice against the Bengals like on Thursday or whatever. Um, the Bengals had better time to game plan against that offense. So that was probably why maybe the offense sputtered. Again, you don't want to see that against backups, but regardless, maybe that's a reason why, and because the Cincinnati starters didn't play at all. Probably because of that, it's like, well, they already know what we're gonna give them, so why even put Joe out there? So yeah, valid reasons. I guess Hard Knocks. I thought Hard Knocks was another great episode. Now I heard that like Hard Knocks started super late. I was actually like working, so I wasn't able to catch or see Hard Knocks early on or whatever, or I was doing something else. Um, oh yeah, I could I was actually at a job fair. That's what I was. I was at a job fair. So that's why I didn't see Hard Knocks. I didn't see Hard Knocks till I came home essentially. I was on the way back home from the job fair. But I know like HBO got it up late. I'm guessing Bear fans don't rate HBO Max before the episode airs, so then the shit doesn't crash, I'm guessing. And then two, I know there's been some Bear fans and some media people complaining about how they've done the Bears hard knocks and everything. I've liked the first two episodes. I've enjoyed the first two episodes, to be honest. Like, do I think in the first episode we didn't need to see so much of Eberflus's daughters and his wife? I agree. Do they talk about Simone Biles a little bit too much? I agree, but regardless, it's a fine show to me. I don't know what Bear fans were looking to get out of Hard Knocks or whatever, because it sounds like the Bear fans wanted to get like X's and O's and seeing training camp shit, and everything. And it's like you're not gonna get that. You're just gonna see you're just gonna see clips of their training camp workouts and stuff like that. But it's really just getting to know like these individuals. And I think people are also upset, like they're focusing on players that they don't feel like they don't want to see any focus. Like the focus needs to be on the starters, like Caleb and everything. They'll get you're gonna get their moments every now and then in the episode because they're mainstays. But the reason why they're focusing on guys like an Ian Wheeler is because guess what? He's a guy that potentially could not make the roster. The whole point of training camp and everything in this point in time is obviously to get your starting O ready and right and prepared for the season. But it's also to see, all right, who might be a low draft pick or who might be an undrafted draft pick or who might be just free agents coming in trying to make the roster. Um, if they're on the fringe. And the fact that there's some Bear fans that were upset, like, why are they focusing on this guy? Why are they doing this? Blah 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 blah. It's like whatever. And obviously, people are saying like, well, what if the Bears and Ryan, the Bears management front office is having says on what goes, like Kevin Warren or whatever. They probably do have some insight and probably like, oh yeah, don't air this, don't air that. You can air this, whatever. It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I guarantee you each and every other team does the same exact shit. Whether it's just like, yeah, cut this out. We don't want this in here. Cut it. Keep it. Cut it. Keep it. I personally I think Bear fans they set their expectations too high for the Hard Knocks training camp series. And if they're you or any other Bear fan disappointed about the way that how they're handling the Bears Hard Knocks, well then I don't know what the hell you were expecting. Don't get your expectations so freaking high. Because if you get your expectations high, you're only gonna be let down. I talk about this in my anime episode reviews or even my movie reviews on my other channel, my main channel. Don't get your expectations too damn high, and maybe you won't actually, feel disappointed or like sad that you felt like you wasted your time watching an episode. Set your expectations lower, and you'll come out of it and you actually like the episode a lot more. I think Bear fans were thinking they were going to get a whole X's and O's, like we're getting a full on practice on the show, seeing like, okay, what's the practice? What's that practice looking? What are they doing this and what are they doing that? Oh, okay, yeah. Because one, you don't want to give away stuff what you're doing in practice, so then teams game plan for it. Like, come on now. So I guarantee you, this upcoming Tuesday, a big point of the Hard Knocks episode will probably be not only the game, but obviously it's going to be the joint practice they had with the Bengals. That's probably going to be the main focus on the episode this week. So yeah, all I gotta say is don't get your expectations too high. Just lower them, and you'll actually like the episode. You'll like these episodes a lot better. But Bear fans, they demand and they want so much. They were thinking like we're gonna get the X's and the O's and all these other stuff. No, you're not. Training camp is about the people and the focus on the players in terms of the people they are and the stuff that they do and the things that they're doing to try to make the camp or try to make the main roster. So yeah, but like I said, you can't please anybody, right? Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button. You want to get more Chicago Bears content or any other sports content I upload to the channel. NFL season is coming right around the corner. I'm gonna have to see if I can schedule an NFL worldwide predictions of how we think each and every team's gonna do and who do we think is gonna be going to the Super Bowl this year and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Gonna catch you guys next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day or night or until this video. Till then, guys, peace.